today's stream is focused on, the invasion of Port Sarim and the Port Sarim rework. And we have a couple of content questions on the ARC, but we have 2 more ARC streams coming up as the weeks go on, up until its release on July 25th. So we have a little bit of more of a focus of what's coming up next week, but for the moment, that's what we're going to focus on. So before we get into it, we'll talk about a couple of news things that have come out. So we had the game update, of course, yesterday. A lot of ninja fixes and other changes along the way, which we will cover as we go on. There was also a player called You Got Lit Up who managed to reach 900% in rage at Telos, the first person to do that. And Victor Trader is back in game as well, so you can exchange a bonus XP for points from him. So let's get into the Port Sarim rework and the invasion of Port Sarim. Are you able to give us a rundown of exactly what this is coming into the game?
Sure, yeah. So we've got an event that's kind of like the invasion of Falador.
Very similar.
So we've got a series of 3 different activities that players can do, and each of which they have a choice of 2 different skills in which they can gain XP. Plus there are some scaling combat mobs as well for a bit of combat too.
Awesome. So when can we expect it all to officially kick off, I guess is the right word for it?
It's released next Monday, so the 11th.
How long is it lasting until?
It will be until the release of the ARC.
So July 25th, I believe,
25th,
right?
yeah, that's right.
Awesome. So you kind of mentioned some sort of activities there, but is there any more activities we could be expected to do during the event at all?
Yeah, sure. Well, I can explain the activities themselves.
Yeah, sure.
So we've got a whole graphical rework of Port Sarim going live, and ships as well. And the event mostly takes place on the roof of the jail in Port Sarim. We've got smithing cannonballs for smithing XP, some herblore XP from mixing black powder, crafting and construction XP from repairing damage that's caused, and firing a cannon back at your enemy, who is Jed from Mega May, he's come back and he's stolen another one of Trader Stan's ships, and he's kind of he's invading the prison, because raids, he's invading the prison and he's trying to kidnap some of the prisoners there because his plans were foiled back in May, and he needs some cargo, effectively.
Yeah, so you mentioned Mega May. Obviously, we had the Mega May content in that sense. So this has kind of been leading up to it, I guess. So for people to understand it from a story perspective, I imagine completing Mega May would have helped explain what's going on in that sense.
I mean, it's not hugely connected. It's just that Jed was introduced there first as a character. So if you completed that particular investigation, there's a little bit more dialogue about who Jed is and your kind of history with him already. And we're trying to set him up narratively as the first of hopefully many antagonists within the Eastern Lands. And Jed will be the first ARC antagonist, effectively. And he's showing up here in this event 2 weeks before the ARC gets released, so we can just make players hate him a little bit more.
And fire cannonballs at him, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, that was for fire making or ranged XP. I forgot that one.
So you mentioned, so in the BTS there was a showcase of the Ore weapon as an override. Are there any other rewards that are coming with this event at all?
Yeah, we've got a couple more overrides than that. There's a cape and there's a head override. Not helmet, it's definitely a head override. It just replaces your head entirely, but we'll let players figure that one out.
So we posted a thread yesterday. I think Modman here posted a thread about the requirements for going to the ARC, and there was a mention of a mini quest during the event. Are you able to share any light upon that at all?
Yeah, sure. So the event itself has no requirements. It's open to everyone, free players too, which is why we've got the free player skills in the mix there. And separate from the event, we've got a piece of permanent content, which is the first Tales of the Ark mini quest. So that's going out with the Port Sarim update next week, and that only requires membership. And once you've completed that, you'll be set to go to the ARC in a couple of weeks' time.
Awesome. Actually, I got a question from the Twitch chat. It's a pretty cool one from Snowcat. Is this can IMM participate in this as well?
I don't see a reason why not.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's worth saying as well, though, that the combat is not safe and the NPC scale. That's just like the Falador.
So we don't want it to, so just be aware
if
from like Invasion of Falador, where we saw obviously a lot of hardcore IMN die.
So let's not have that again.
It was all your fault last time, but it's be your fault again if you do it again.
Right. So Stu has changed. It's been a while since Stu's been on a stream. As you can imagine, he's kind of changed a little bit. And obviously, I have a new persona with that one, Stu. A lot more aggressive. I'm kidding. But I got a question here from Fao Draco. Will the event bring any permanent content? You just answered that one. Mm-hmm. But if there's any new content, will there be any sort of requirement for comp, trim, or master quest cape?
I don't believe from the event there is. It's very likely. We're still discussing what comp and trim requirements we'll be adding with the Arc. It's very probable that the tails of the Arc will end up on the comp cape, but that is not yet set in stone. But you need to do it to even get to the Arc, and you're going to want to do that anyway. So.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll take a bit of a step back and go for a couple of Arc questions. Just a reminder, we're going to do a couple of Arc questions, but we're not covering the entire basis of it. We have 2 more live streams coming up which focus on that. So you can keep an eye out for them as the weeks go by. So question from Captain Lime. Is there anything you can reveal lore-wise about the Arc?
Well, you've kind of covered a lot of the narrative stuff already, but we've introduced this antagonist of Jed that you go to the Arc to encounter and dispatch. So we're continuing that story further while you're in the Arc. Are there any other threads you'd like us to bring up?
I think just generally speaking, because the gods they don't go to the Eastern Lands for some reason. That it's something we'll be exploring, I think, a bit more in depth as we release more and more of it. So it's more, the stories we're trying to tell are more personal. They're more about the player and the crew that you kind of start to hire and hopefully make friends with, or at least get to know better.
Awesome. Actually, before I go on with some more Arc questions, I forgot to cue this. Hopefully the production team are ready. We have a couple of images of the Port Sarim rework from before, i.e. what's in the game right now, compared to what is going in with Monday's update. So hopefully we can bring that up. So this is what it looks like currently in-game. And then we can go on to the next image, if that's okay. And you should get that same shot in NXT. So obviously, there's quite a difference. But I mean, are you able to quickly talk to us about what it was like, obviously, trying to design this, as it were? No pressure. If you can't, that's fine.
It's probably more of a question for Moz, Joe, and Alex.
For sure.
Mean, they've done, I believe they did all the environment work on this. It's a ship.
Yes.
That's about as much as I can say.
Okay, then I'll use this to segue into the next image. So if we go on to the next one, this is obviously one of the ships in the current game right now, but then if we go on to our next one in NXT, we'll get ourselves a lovely overview of exactly what has happened as time has gone on. There's quite a lot happening there.
Yeah, the ship rework in particular is really nice. There's a lot more variety in the different ones that you can see. This particular one still has the issue that it's a little bit trapped, but it's part of keeping the same footprint that the area has now, so we don't break lots of old content. Hopefully one day we can make it look a little bit more natural, but...
So the ship in the background there is, I believe, Jed's ship as well, who's firing cannons at you. That was shown in the BTS as well. Looks absolutely awesome. So we'll go back to some Arc questions. Will there be any future quest series in the Arc itself?
Well, at this point, we do it an update at a time, so that's something to decide for the future. We're creating a new space, a new continent for us to add content to as we go along. So certainly there's plenty of potential to add quests. Whether those get added to the release schedule is out of our hands.
Gotcha. And is there any ties to the current continent or further east, for example?
I think mostly we're taking the narrative to the east. So there'll be some tie-ins with kind of narrative elements mentioned in the ports, in Voyages, and that's where the ties end. We're not really harking back to any other quest series in the game. We wanted to do our own thing, create something a bit different, a bit new.
So I've got a question in from the chat, probably for you, Riley. It's from Joey V. Elite asking, will there be a cap on the XP gained in the event?
Yes. So like Falador Invasion, you get an object, I think it was commendations with that, and there is a cap on the number of those that you can receive in a day. And once you've hit that cap, you can't do the activities anymore for XP. We're aimed for about an hour worth of play in order to reach that cap. So it's not something that we want players to just go at all day, every day. We just, go in there, get your cap, and then go do something else.
Awesome. So a bit more of a general question for the Arc, but it's maybe a question just to clarify upon from Gamers X. Is the Eastern Lands just the player port islands, or is there another major continent inside the mainland of RuneScape?
That's to be determined. No one's mentioned it in game yet, so yeah, we'll find out when we get there.
Awesome, and probably another one for you on this one, Mod Stu. Will the Eastern Lands have its own achievement diaries or tasks, as they were?
First of all, just to clarify, the Eastern Lands are an area far
so
to the east of the
Wishenko
Isles.
Then, I guess.
So the Eastern Lands are something that where you would eventually reach after going through all of the Wishenko Isles that we know about from ports, and even that might only be part of that line of islands. So the Eastern Lands themselves are a long, long way off. But in terms of the Wishenko Isles, in which we're doing a series of islands at a time, in the first chapter will be the first 3 islands, Waiko, Amanishi, and Wellsmore. But those ones are going to include an achievement diary, no.
Awesome. Okay, so for now, ladies and gentlemen, that will do for Mods, Rowley, and Stu. But that's kind of the gist of what's coming up on Monday. Get involved with the Port Sarim Rework. So I'm going to thank you guys for coming by. And yeah, if you have any questions for that when it comes by on Monday, these are your wonderful people to get in contact with. But of course, we'll be trying to help along the way. So I think you guys are good to go. And we're going to get ready to grab Mod Sailing on the couch. I imagine you guys would want to go that way so you're not running into the camera, but we're going to get ready to get Mod Sailing on the couch in just a second, so we can ask a couple of questions about a couple of things coming up in just a moment. So he's on his way. Shawnee in a suit, ha 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 ha, I agree. Anyway, so I got, might need you to move over a little bit if that's okay, Mod Sailing. Okay, awesome. So, Mod Sailing on the couch with me here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm
Good.
doing very, very well. So, we've got, obviously, the Port Sarim rework coming in. There's also a little bit of content from you guys coming in, which is the boat to the Ark. Are you able to pretty much run this down for us?
Of course, yeah. So the Boat to the Ark is one of the community events that we'll be doing. We've done a few of them before. It runs very similar to the Lost Sword of Radlin or the opening of God Wars 2. Very similar to those kind of events. So it will essentially be massively community based, and the gist of the entire event is that the boat that you're creating is necessary for the journey that you take over to the Ark. So in the process of doing it, you'll be building the entire boat itself, the rigging, as well as doing loads of other little things around getting you and the entire continent essentially ready for whatever it is that you are facing in the Ark.
So you mentioned it's like a community event, so I imagine as the days go on, you're doing different activities.
Yep, exactly. So like the previous events, every day it changes. So there'll be different skills that are used each day, and it'll be a case of the events change as well. So you'll have one on the first day. Once you've completed that as a community, then you move on to the next one, and then once you complete that each day, it changes, and what you are doing to the boat is different.
Is there also a community progress bar? So
Yep, like the previous ones, there's your personal bar, so what you've done to help throughout the event, and then on the bottom line there's an entire community one to kind of see how you as an entire community has progressed through building the boat.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to say on regards to the boats, the Ark, or?
It ties in massively to kind of the pre-release of the Ark. So if anyone's interested in both storyline as well as getting ready and having some awesome rewards as well, because just like the previous ones, there'll be a really nice reward that builds up over time. So you should get your hands on that if you want to. So yeah, just really essentially be involved in every day possible. Make sure that the community gets the best reward they can, and yeah, just take part, be involved.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions here related obviously to the content you and your awesome team have made.
Yep.
So first question from Dino Sparky: is there any plans to buff portable sawmills as they no longer give protein planks?
So yeah, this came with the change for the protein planks when we gave the exchange rate. So we took that feature because otherwise it was just going to be generating loads, and we didn't want that. So what we have been doing is looking into what we can do to make it a bit more feasible, make it a bit more nicer, make it that exact portable a little bit more engaging and engrossing, basically. But we need to balance it. We need to make sure it's perfect. So we're still looking into it. So kind of soon, TM. But we're doing as much as we can for it.
No worries. I got another question on the portables. Can you make portable forges give increased XP when smelting corrupted ore?
That probably isn't a question I'm able to answer, but I will certainly post it to someone who can and get an answer out there.
For sure. Lut RS, can we get XP drops back on the XP tracker?
On the XP track for rune metrics?
Yes.
Of course. So this is something we're looking into. It's probably the biggest question that's been asked since the rune metrics update yesterday. And it's certainly something that is possible. It's on our list of things to do. Whether or not it's high on the priority list is questionable at the moment. But we're seeing everyone asking for it. We know that people are wanting it. We know that people want to bring it back. Since yesterday, it's been, definitely the top one on that list of things watching. So it'll probably shoot up a priority list and probably something we take care of. But we're kind of going to gauge it a bit more, see how people are reacting to it, and try and figure out what it is we need to do first.
Sure. And last question from Anexio. So the recent rune metrics update made 2 or more trackers for the same skill impossible. Can we be allowed to select them again?
So this is kind of similar to the last answer. There's another thing that obviously was available on the old XP tracker. Again, it's possible to do it on the current one, on the rune metrics interface. We just need to make sure if it's something that we definitely want to do, if it's definitely something we want to take advantage of and put on top of our priority list. There's loads of other things that we need to get sorted first for rune metrics and the way it works and the way it interacts with free people. We've already made some changes yesterday as well. So we moved a few things over from pro to free, and we're still trying to balance that all out and make sure it's good. So these are all things that are possible, but things that also need to be considered on a massive level and worked out first.
Gotcha. And just to clarify upon the 2 things moving over from pro to free, that is the health value. If you drop below 20% health, you'll get a red glare on your screen to let you know you're on low health. And also you'll have a stack value box that pops up anytime you finish a kill on an NPC, which tells you approximate value of the items dropped straight away. So a nice conversion from 2 features that were originally on pro to free. So for you guys who are not on pro, you can check that out as well. But in regards to that, I think that'll do it for that section. So first of all, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to get ready now to call God designer Timbo over here in just a few moments. Timbo's been laughing in the background throughout this entire stream because of my mispronunciations of words. And it's funny I say that because there's a very particular video clip that we're showing at the end of the stream as well. So
you don't mispronounce them. You don't mispronounce them. You say them.
I say
awesomely.
No, I don't. Let's not get into that. Okay, so I'm going to ask Motswede, and thank you very much for joining me. And we're going to pass it over to Timbo, who's going to join me in just a second. We have a lot to talk about for this one, so get ready to sit back. Timbo with the pillow in the position as always. Hello, Timbo. How are you, sir?
Hello. Can you say arc for me, please?
You want me to say arc?
Arc. Sorry.
Thanks, Timbo.
I've been laughing so much in the background. It's brilliant.
See, everyone knows the words. This is bad.
Fuck,
Oh
yeah.
God.
That video clip is brilliant.
Anyway, so we're going to jump right into this. We have an image, if possible, to get up on screen right now. This is to do with Telos. We had a meeting just now. We're going to be making some changes to Telos. Just to clarify before we go into this, the coming soon changes are ideas from the meeting we had, but are not final yet. And we're looking for your feedback. But Timbo, do you want to take us through this?
So I mean, as of today, there will be a hotfix going out that will mean that all dormant ability codexes will convert into regular codexes, the full completed ones. And from now on, you'll always get the ability book drop. Dormant ones will no longer drop, meaning you no longer require orbs in order to get the codex and get the ability. That's happening today. And the rest of the updates, so one of the things is the information button on the tool on the loot interface. So the intended difficulty for Telos has always been 100% Enrage. And I think we want to try and communicate that a little more easier during on the actual interface itself. So if there's a little information button that'll tell you past 100 Enrage, you get a better chance at the orbs and all the dormant pieces. There's one of the big things we've seen from the Telos launch is the spinning wheel of loot. We're now going to be adding a toggle option to the interface, so you can just go back, so you don't have to see the spinning at all. You go straight into the loot. So it'll just display all the loot that you have, and it will do away with the whole stop spinning and squeal of Telos sort of stuff. And then the biggest change we're looking at loot is we're always looking at loot tables and that sort of thing. I mean, it's my job to do that. But one of the biggest loot change that we're going to be making in the near future is that based on your streak, you'll get a percentage of your loot back if you die. So current numbers are a bit up in the air, but we're thinking that the higher the streak, the more percentage of your loot you'll get if you do die. We still want to reward players for getting a high streak, but we feel that getting a percentage of that back and a high percentage for a high streak is very important.
Gotcha. And just to clarify again, for the changes that are coming soon on that image, that is stuff from a meeting we just had. However, we're always looking for feedback. So if you have any feedback on those changes, please like post threads, tweet at us, and everything else, because we're always looking.
It's worth mentioning that the drop tables will tell us this isn't the last time we'll be looking at them. We'll be looking at what the enrage and percentage of loot back from death does. We'll see how players get more efficient and tactics come out a bit more about Telos and how much people make, and then we'll reassess this sort of in a week, 2 weeks time.
Gotcha. Okay, so before I get into it, I saw a quick question in the chat. I don't know who it was from, but it was basically, do you yell timber anytime you destroy a tree?
All the time. I yell timber as often as I can.
All right, so let's get into this. So Axelomatic is asking, with the lowering of rune items coming, which Slayer monsters are currently, how are you looking into rebalancing the rune items with the incoming smithing and mining rework?
I don't know. No idea. No, of course. We're looking into it right now. I mean, what we don't want to do is drop the new ores and the new bars and the new gear. That's one of the things we're kind of worried about. In all honesty, drop tables will probably be lower as a result of this overall. We're looking at something like 10-20% reduced value because we're not going to put like for like on Runite. So like if there was 20 Runite drop, we're not going to replace it with 20 Nechrite.
Yeah,
we're not going to replace it with 20 Aetherite. We're probably going to replace it with something to do with minesmithing that will be of a lower value.
Gotcha. Question from Basterian. Will there be more reworks like Port Sarim in the near future? A lot of places are aging really fast, and while you guys keep adding new areas, I personally would like to see more graphical reworks instead.
It's a funny thing you should ask that. There was another one coming later this year. I don't know if I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it anyway. We're looking to rework Catherby.
Kelpie's tweeted this.
Yeah, Catherby and the White Wolf Mountain. Yeah, people who have seen Legends Art's awesome concept art for the wolf. There's a giant wolf head on top of White Wolf Mountain. It looks really freaking cool. But yeah, we're looking to rework Catherby and White Wolf Mountain later in the year. So yeah, we definitely do want to do them. That's the only one we have planned right now. But I'm sure 2017 we'll have a couple more.
Gotcha. Hyon Kodoku asks, currently regeneration mechanics do not heal enough to be useful. Will there be a rework of regeneration rates soon?
Yeah, this is on the Combat Council's backlog. I know there's another backlog, as well as the Ninja backlog. This mythical thing that we have that we sort of and hide from players. But yeah, we know about regeneration effects. Healing in combat is too high as it is already, and there's a lot of ways to healing in game with resonance and sacrifice and blah 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 and loads of other stuff. Like, it's very, very easy to heal in combat. We are aware of it, and we're going to look at it soon.
Flashed RS asks, can we get more spots on the friends list?
Probably not.
Are you able to share why?
I mean, we probably can. It's all up in the air. Like it's a technical thing, really. The number of spaces that people have on a friends list, it adds up on millions and millions of players, right? So it's a space issue, really. We're not looking to change it anytime soon. Maybe we can in future.
Gotcha. Malphite TW asks, can the Tiawing Quiver have unlimited teleports? I don't see a reason why it should be limited to 5.
We can look at it. It's quite a useful teleport. I mean, there's a reason why they're looking for it to be unlimited. We can maybe look at it as a ninja thing to either make it unlimited or increase it to a much high cap.
Fodraco asks, will there be anything new to Invention? For example, components, blueprints, etc.?
There's always going to be new things to Invention. Like what we released this year isn't the state of Invention, right? There's always going to be new components and new perks and new gizmos, new devices, like new tech trees. Like we're always looking to add things to Invention. This isn't going to be the final. What we have now isn't the final thing. Things like God Wars, they introduce brand new components, brand new blueprints. We launched the tech trees that introduce a boatload of devices. Like we're going to keep doing that through like the end of this year, through next year.
We even had Nomad's Elegy, which had
the soul in the box.
The soul in the box.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, where we can fit Invention rewards, we will. Where it makes sense, soul in the box made a lot of sense. So we're going to keep adding things to Invention.
Gotcha. A question from Twitter from Amadin. Are there any news on the ninjas adding Armadale back to his tower? Is it still planned? And if so, do you have any ETA?
I think that Jamie talked to the art lead guys about that. We do want to do it still, as far as I know. I mean, we want to do it with all gods, right? We want Saradomin on a throne somewhere, probably in Falador. Armador in his tower. Like, we want the gods to be more on the surface. It's a lot of work. Potentially, there has to be some content attached to it as well. And some lore and some backstory. So if you were at the world event, Armador talks to you. If you've done certain quests, he'll talk to you. So it's a lot of work in that regards. Probably not an injury thing, but yeah, we do want to do it.
All right, so we got a lot of Ninja Quickfire questions, but there is no rush to answer them. If you need to elaborate upon them, that's fine. I'm just letting you know because Kelpie didn't obey the rules of Quickfire and decided to go a lot more descriptive because he was told to, he said. Anyway, can you remove cave bugs from free-to-play Slayer areas since free-to-play can't kill them?
Sure.
Can the limp word patch from the Spirit of Summer quest in the wilderness get upgraded to a full flower patch after the quest?
You might see that sooner than you think.
Oh, okay. Can you do something about monsters in the Stronghold of Security? The recent buff to their stats was too drastic.
Yeah, I think we kind of messed up the HP on them. I've been looking at Anku specifically, but if there's any other particular monsters in the Stronghold you want to look at, or just the whole lot of them, I guess, just let me know.
Can you let us keepsake a death touch that?
No.
Just no? Oh.
I mean, because there's problems with reclaiming it, right? Death touch these days have expiry dates and that sort of thing. Plus, we're not really keen on people being able to look like they have death touch stats.
Gotcha. Can you move the anti-poison totem to pocket slot as promised?
That's on the ninja backlog. This mythical beast.
Can you allow the Barrow's amulet to be used on Linz's tomb?
We asked a couple of ninja guys and they said no. I think if we were to allow the amulet, you wouldn't have a chance of the Linza's loot. So for example, you can only get Linza's loot if you kill Linza.
Because Linza is actually a lot tougher than the rest, so exactly. It makes sense, yeah.
So maybe we will add it, but you wouldn't get Linza's loot. Let me know.
Can Max Gobi reputation finally become a trimmed completionist cape requirement? It's been a year since it came out.
Not really a ninja thing. I mean, maybe we will. I don't really like retroactively adding trim comp requirements or comp requirements. It seems a little strange.
Can the ninja backlog be more responsive to what we ask about on the developer Q&As?
Blimey. Yeah. I mean, I want to publish it, but Jamie, Kelpie doesn't want
He doesn't mind being called. That's fine now.
Kelpie doesn't really want it published, but I wouldn't mind publishing like the top 10, 20 of our backlog.
Can we get loot value on other bosses such as raids, QPD, etc.? Yeah,
we thought about it. It got converted over to the way that other bosses do it, but yeah, we've got that somewhere.
Can you please remove the message for opening the Dungeoneering tokens from Elf Thieving?
Oh, yes.
Can there be a clear option on fruit trees like Calquats? Currently, you have to chop it down, then dig it up.
Yeah, we can do something like that.
Can there be a permanent option in message to not show up while removing trees from normal tree patches?
Yes.
Can we have a better interface for remote farm like the one in 07? It's so clunky at the moment and difficult to find the other patches you need.
Yeah, I mean, we had the whole farming timers thing a little while back, you might remember. It's a lot of work. It's more than a project's worth of work for a retention team, just to rework that and make it usable, because we have so many more patches and stuff from OS. Probably not.
Can you give the ability to note the Adamant Dragon's ban drops to the Elite Charisma gloves while being worn? Why did I say charisma? I did it again. Last week I said this and got ruined in the chat. I said the same word again.
That's
Karamja.
amazing.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Probably not, and you wouldn't want it to do that anyway with the Manny Smith and rework.
Can you change?
Adibar's going to be trash soon. Spoilers. Panic sale.
Could you change Spirit Gems? Stopping the camera on me. Damn production team. Can you change Spirit Gems to be alchable even if it's 0 GP?
Yeah. If you want to just throw away nature runes, be my guest.
Can the boat ride cutscene from the Fremenic Isles of Jetsitso and
Yeah, it's so.
And this is, I swear.
Nay, it's not.
And nay, it's not. So be skipped.
Yes, they can.
Brilliant. All right, so we have a couple of Dungeoneering questions here because there was a post that was made which kind of combined them, and we thought we'd gather them and put them together.
It's going to be a new
end.
weekly feature of Dungeoneering Quickfire.
Dungeoneering Quickfire, though. It's just we'll go through them bit by bit. So, is it possible to update the map to show your gatestone locations and group gatestone?
I know that Mod Pilot did it and said that it's probably not possible. The Dungeoneering map couldn't handle it.
Is it possible to allow the player to teleport to their gatestone from the map? If the above, if the above can be done, then that won't be possible.
But I mean, plus you can just stick on your action bar.
If possible, are you able to allow the map to show what keys are required for floors by replacing the question mark on a locked room with the key required?
No, I don't really. That's not really Dungeoneering-y sort of. I don't think it's fair. The ninja guys weren't so keen on it either.
Can the boss room door let you leave as soon as the boss is dead, rather than waiting until you have no adrenaline left?
Sure.
And can the Hex Hunter bow be changed to a short bow instead of a shield bow?
Yeah, I mean, we need to look at it. We need to look with the passive for that to see how much it is. But yeah, I know there's been a job on the Common Council backlog for making that bow great again.
Make the bow great again.
So yeah, maybe, probably. Maybe probably. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, we're coming towards the end of the stream, but I feel like my confidence has been a little bit ruined by my pronunciation of words. But it's
just
funny.
say arc once more time.
No, I'm not saying it anymore for you. Not for your comedic. Not for your. No. All right. So.
Can you recap what's being released this month, please?
That's fine. Okay, I will recap what's being released. That's fine. So with the, you can watch the July month ahead BTS, which were released on Friday. But the main ones to keep an eye out for are, Invention XP Amnesty. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
Because I haven't put this in the script, but it's just come to my mind.
Oh, unscripted.
Yeah, unscripted stuff.
Off the. Oh, he's putting the iPad down.
All right, let's do this.
Oh
so,
boy.
It's not coming out July 25th anymore. July 18th.
It's coming in July 18th, so it doesn't clash with the other dates coming out in the same month.
So are you able to run down how this is going to work when it releases? As in, what will it work with, rates, etc., or not?
Yeah, I mean, we're not finalising everything so far. But
sure.
The idea is that any lamp or star or source of experience that you can get from quests, D&Ds, that sort of thing will be 50%. You only get 50% applied to Invention. So lamps will be half, bonus XP will be half. Bonus XP will work with Invention at 200% like it currently does. So you get an extra 100% experience on things. Disassembling weapons will be exempt from this.
Okay.
Disassembling and siphoning weapons will be what is known as reward experience. It's just like a lamp experience, so it can't be doubled, it can't be boosted, and that sort of thing. And the way it was going to work on Double XP Weekend is that you will get double XP, you'll get 50% more item experience.
Okay.
So you will not get double XP for siphoning or getting weapons.
You'll just be able to level up your items.
You'll be able to level up your items 50% faster over Double XP Weekends.
Pulse cores?
The boosts will work with things, but the actual pulse core itself won't work with Invention.
Gotcha. And I think D&D's work you mentioned, so Tears of Gothics, etc., etc., etc. I guess the only one for me is daily challenges. There going to be any daily challenges at all for this?
There's going to be no daily challenges for Invention so far. If people have a really good idea what they want it to be, then we'll do it. Invention Tech Trees kind of did that already, where you go along and hand a bunch of stuff in. So you're handing like gizmos or rodomatics and stuff. That's kind of already daily challenges. We don't really want to have another one on top of it, so you're making even more things from Invention. But yeah, that's basically going to be it.
Awesome. Okay, that'll do it in that sense. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to mention it since it is coming out this month. So the ones to keep an eye out for, next Monday we have the release of the Port Sarim rework and the Invasion of Port Sarim. Then the next one to keep an eye out for is the run-up to the Invention XP Amnesty. And then, of course, the ARC releasing on July 25th. I just said it.
You said it.
You just wanted the satisfaction of me saying that word. July 25th. For the meantime, as the weeks are coming up, are we able to, just for the production team here, are we able to mention what ARC streams we're doing for the next two?
Yeah.
Stop laughing, Timbo.
Every time.
So next week. So next week we'll be talking about the actual islands themselves.
So next week we're going into the actual islands used in the ARC contents, and then
we're talking about exploration.
And then after that we're talking about the exploration of the ARC. So we have those streams queued up as we're coming along by. But that will do it. The only thing I'm going to mention are two more things. Mod JD and Mod John will be doing a stream in about 25 minutes, going for 1,000 kills with Yakamara. Last week they did 1,000 Beastmaster kills, but now they're going to go for the Yakamara loot and see what they get. And the last thing I'm going to end it on is that today we recorded a video. You might have already seen the old school version of pronouncing words in RuneScape. We kind of pronounced our own and tried to give it a shot. And I believe the wonderful JD, John, and Mod Bands and others have decided to grab a video of me trying to say certain words, which doesn't really come out that well. So we'll end the stream on that one. And I will personally say thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you've enjoyed it and enjoy what is about to come your way. Prifdynus, Tiawin, Chris, Milia, Trahern, Ioworth, Hirayu, Dilwyn,